Last night, the Lakers' big three was down to just a big two. Austin Reaves led the way with 44 points, while LeBron James had the biggest assist of the Lakers season. Where Rui Hachimura buried the game winner and the first buzzer beater of his career tonight, it's rivalry renewed in Boston for the next chapter between the league's most historic franchises.
When you hear the crowd is chanting, beat L.A.
Beat L.A., that's great. The leprechaun at work here at Lambert. He was decked by two Celtics and hit the floor hard. Lakers had several chances, and here's Larry Bird chucking down the puck. The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champion.
Here come the Lakers. Magic.
Oh. Magic right side to Worthy. Slam dunk. The Lakers are winning it. 3 in 6 years. L.A. comes to Boston and wins the world title.
Woo! Yes, feels good.
And Worthy is decked. And Worthy doesn't like it. That was a very rough takedown of James Worthy. The last time the Lakers won the title, they won it in Boston Garden. They're winning this at home against the team they want to beat more than any other. And the Lakers wound up undefeated at home in the playoff. Bryant looking. Artest, that's a three. Bang! The LA Lakers, the 2010 NBA champions.
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Chris McGee alongside Derek Fisher and James Worthy. We'll get to Mike Trudell in a little bit. If that doesn't fire you up, D-Fish.
It's been a long time, Geets.
If that doesn't get the blood flowing, big game, nothing's going to.
It does, Skeeter. It's, hey, remember the times.
Hey, man.
Yes.
That left jab by you. Quick, effective.
Yeah,
Mayweather, but 6'9".
I had the power right up high,
Yeah.
but the jab was a little closer, so I had to stick one in there.
That was real nice. We start the show the same way we started yesterday's show, except this time, unfortunately, we've added a new name to the list. Luka Doncic remains out of the lineup for the second straight game due to personal reasons, and now LeBron James is also out with right sciatica and left foot joint arthritis for tonight's game against the Celtics. LeBron has only played in 6 games this season. He's yet to play in the back-to-back. Remember, he skipped that Pelican game last week. You know he doesn't want to miss this one, guys, but in your 23rd season and you are turning 41 in less than a month, you have to listen to your body no matter what the game is, no matter what the stakes are, because it's a smart thing to do, big game.
Absolutely. I mean, considering, his career and what he's done and the contribution he's given to the league and global, and how he's been able to keep himself available to play like last year. And, he's had grandfather times on the ropes for a long time. But at some point, your body just starts to tell you that, look, let's take it easy. I don't want to rush into anything. And he's taken, from what I can see thus far, a role that's going to benefit him, is going to benefit everyone if he continues to, play the role that he's playing now, which is being a genius on the floor with players, making plays and making everybody feel comfortable out there.
I think for LeBron this season, without training camp, it's also, it's a difficult ask, 6 games back into his season to get into back-to-back scenarios at this age with that type of mileage. The reason why, like the videos we showed pregame, the highlights from the 80s and the winning of championships, those videos still resonate and matter because the teams won the championship.
Yes. And
so that's ultimately what everything is going to be measured by anyway. So LeBron playing a regular season game versus the Celtics and maybe increasing the risk of a lingering injury or health issues down the line, which then cloudy the championship aspirations, is just a calculated decision you have to make.
You notice there was no videos from a December game in there versus Boston. I noticed that. All right, for more, let's check in with Mike Trudell, even though it's still just as important in our eyes because we hate the Celtics. There's Mike Trudell, Lakers reporter. Hi, Mike.
what's happening. Thinking of a game here 2 years ago, right? No LeBron, no AD, and it was Austin Reaves going for 30-plus. That was a game where Vanderbilt was ridiculous in the first half, got hurt just before halftime, didn't play in the second half. So the Lakers have won shorthanded here before. Of course, now Austin Reaves will be at the very top of the scouting report, and they're going to deploy all their resources to try and slow him down. And remember, he played huge minutes last night, over 40. He had over 40 points, was spectacular as Toronto threw everything that they had at him. So that's where he started with J.J. Redick. How do you kind of manage that to some extent, right, where you need Austin Reaves to create the advantage for you, but this is a heavy ask coming on the second night of a back-to-back when he's gotten all of the attention of all of the defenders. So here's J.J. on that and more.
Yeah, we're cognizant of his workload going into this game, and I'm sure Walsh will guard him some and pick up full court. So we're going to do our best to have multiple ball handlers out there and get him off ball a little bit.
I think 5 wins in 6 for Boston, probably playing their best of the season. What have you seen from them recently, especially?
They're really good. I think they have an identity every night in terms of how they play. Jalen's playing at a high level. Derek White has picked up, his shooting and his scoring since some early season struggles there. But it's a lot of. I feel like with them, it's a lot of math. You got to be able to guard your yard. You got to be able to stay in front of the ball. You got to have great shifts, and you got to be able to close out. They're still shooting a lot of threes, and then you got to finish every possession. Number 1 in the league in crash rate, and it's everybody. It's their guards crashing through the elbows. It's Walsh. Kata's doing a great job on the board. So there's a lot of things you got to be worried about playing this team.
Do you have any more information about Luka Doncic and when you could anticipate him back with the team?
Soon. Yep.
Is Philly a possibility?
Yes.
All right, so there's J.J. Redick. Now, Geeter, I know you'll appreciate this, right? But several years ago in this building, the NBA Finals, Game 3, right? I call it the D-Fish game still. And there was this one drive late in the fourth quarter. And so last night, Austin Reaves has the drive into the defense when I thought the Lakers were trying to call a timeout. Completely different circumstances, but there was a part of my brain that was like, where did I see somebody take on the entire team? Oh, that's right. D-Fish, who scored over 5 Celtics in traffic to basically secure that game and eventually the series, because that got home court advantage back for the Lakers and allowed them to get back for 6 and 7. So I'm glad Fish is on the show tonight. And Geeter, I know you think about that play too.
I do. And you and I were both there, Mike, and we're 5 levels up where they put the media. And I stood up and said, let's go. Who wants this smoke? And none of the Boston guys rose up. For me and my guy, D-Fish, I was ready to throw hands with whoever wanted a piece. Okay. Nobody stood up. Nobody stood up. And by the way, a little teaser, Mike, we're going to break down that play later in the show.
I'll be watching.
Okay, yes, you will. Appreciate you, Mike Trudell. There's Big Mike. Lakers have been great on the road, 9-2, and they've been great without their superstars. Remember, LeBron missed the first 14 games. They are 4-1 without Luka Doncic, and when Luka doesn't play or LeBron doesn't play, they've got great contributions, James, from the role guys. And without Luka, AR, the future All-Star, smooth 41 points a game.
Well, it seems like with or without Luka, he still gets the job done. I know he outscored Luka a couple of games. They made light of that. But, yeah, Gita, this team, it's early. But they seem to have, plant some good seeds, really good seeds early that will allow them to grow. Defensively, they've committed. They trust the system that the coaching staff has laid out for them. And they play through it, whether they're down or whether they need to come back. And they trust one another. And those are some good things to have early on. And when you think of guys like Jake coming off, he had a big block last night that really gave them
5 minutes left.
A lot of momentum, those 12 points coming off. And then, Smith Jr. just continues to be ready. 12 points, just guys coming off the bench last night. Really helped them. I think they had over 30, 35 points a year. I can't remember exactly. But, yeah, so they're connected with starters. LeBron, 11 assists. Forget the record. He's done with all the records and stuff. He's broken most of them. But, telling Rui before the play even happened, it's going to be a situation where we're going to have a 4-on-3. it's just, trusting one another. They're connected and, they're winning. And, they're going to go up against some tough competition. But their formula, it's pretty good right now.
Yeah, and I think, this is really where I think the way J.J. Redick and the coaching staff and they've established that process over outcome mindset, right? So regardless of who's playing, there are certain procedural, process-related, tactical things, technique-related things, winning habits, winning closeouts, shifts defensively, communication. Like, you're still going to be held to that same standard of accountability no matter who's on the court. Like, you don't get to just take a night off from being a pro because certain people aren't playing. And JJ has made that crystal clear, and they don't want to let go of that rope. Whether they win the game or not, each night, guys in, guys out, they are trying to at least play the same level of basketball every night. And that's how you rack up the wins in the NBA season.
Yeah, you guys both bring up some great points. And listen, James, you had mentioned it was bound to come to an end, but it happened last night for the first time in 1,297 games. LeBron James failed to score 10 or more points. That was the longest streak in NBA history, ahead of both Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, the last time LeBron didn't score 10 points in a game was back in 2007. Let's take a look at what was going on 18 years ago. The iPhone didn't exist. The Harry Potter series wasn't finished. Kevin Durant had yet to be drafted in the NBA. Bronny James was 2 years old. The number 1 overall pick this year, Cooper Flagg, 15 days old. And George W. Bush was the president of the United States. So to say it's been a long time is an understatement, but all streaks come to an end. We got through it. LeBron talked about it, and now you can celebrate it. I loved what LeBron said. I've been making these kinds of plays, the right plays, winning plays, since the day I came in the league. And the whole irony of this whole thing was, the streak ended, but the ball was in his hands, and he made the play to Rui. And it happened in a win. And that, James, is time to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, team before anything. Look, he doesn't need to hold on or break any more records. I mean, LeBron is in a situation with younger players where he's teaching every day. I mean, this guy went down to the G League. Imagine what they must have felt like having the king for a while. So, yeah, I mean, he's from the beginning. I mean, Fish noted that he hadn't had any training camp or really in the best of shape that he would like to be. But his experience and what he's doing on the floor now, he's just filling in the spaces that are needed. He's running that baseline. He's making other guys better by the passes he gives up. And that play last night just goes to show you the mindset of a true champion and, his greatness.
I agree.
Yeah, that's why I was talking to, even at home as a family, like talking to the kids, talking to our boys. The irony of it is, early in LeBron's career, people ridiculed him and criticized him for making the play he made last night to win a game. People would question whether or not he was a killer. He was an assassin like Michael Jordan, like Kobe Bryant, and the other guys that we had become accustomed to seeing close out games. He said it. He's made these plays his entire career. It was the right basketball play to make. Rui makes the shot. The Lakers win the game. That's ultimately what matters the most. But the fact that it was questioned, because he's always been a pass-first player, almost more Magic than Michael from a passing and scoring perspective. But he also can score like Michael and pass like Magic, which is what makes him completely unique.
Yeah, guys. Former Celtic Marcus Smart is back in Boston, where it all began for him. Drafted 6th overall by the Celtics back in 2014 and spent 9 seasons with Boston. He's played in just 14 games in his first season with the Lakers. Unfortunately, he is out again tonight with a back injury. Plus, Rui Hachimura hit the game winner last night at the buzzer. We'll hear from Rui when we come back.
To James, kick it, corner, Rui to win the game.
At
Rui
the buzzer.
wins it.
All my life, all the time I've seen LeBron play, he always makes the right play. He could have very easily tried to win that one on his own.
That was crazy. I never had a game winner. He told me that right before this. They said, I got you. Said it's going to come to you. I don't know what it is, but that position, I knew it was going to come to me. So I was ready. I had to imagine like how we're going to shoot it, whatever, but it was exactly what I felt it. So yeah.
What a difference a game makes. Monday against Phoenix, Rui Hachimura took one shot, missed it, didn't score a single point Last night, Rui scores 12 points, 4 of 9 from shooting, 2 of 3 from deep, including the game winner at the buzzer. Rui talked about it with the media last night.
It's like one of those things that every basketball player's dream, you know, especially like, you know, like this NBA, you know, play for Lakers, get a pass from LeBron, you know, it's the crazy things. But yeah, I think those are coming from, you know, our, you know, chemistry and everything that we've been building. And yeah, that was a tough game for us, but we got this dub. So yeah, it was good.
One of the first to get to Austin when he hit the buzzer beater in Minneapolis. I remember what was it like being on the other end of that?
I know, yeah, it felt crazy, you know. I think I never had a buzzer beater like that, so yeah, it just it's like one of those, you know, situation play that, you know, every basketball player dreams, you know. So yeah, it was a great feeling.
Austin almost put you in kind of a headlock.
Man, I don't know what I was doing. I was just trying to run away from everybody, you know, trying to run around the cold. But yeah, it was fun.
You've worked out with LeBron and Summers. How have you felt his trust in you build across the seasons you guys have played together?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, coming from everything, you know, those big games like this, the big moments, you know, the playoff. We played so many playoffs with him, you know, together, the practice, and even off the court, you know, just being around with him, you know, just he you know, I can see that he trusts me, you know, all those kind of stuff. But I think, you know, those guys, especially with those, you know, Austin, Vandor, you know, me, Braun, like, you know, we've been playing for a long time, pretty much. So, yeah, I think we have all this chemistry going on, and these new guys came in, you know, and, you know, they've been great with us, too. So, yeah, I think those chemistry is really important for this, you know, basketball. So, and we just got to keep building that.
So, Fish, we had this conversation yesterday on the pregame show. Only one shot for Rui in 23 minutes was unacceptable in that Phoenix game. And then he bounces back, and that's the beauty of sports and the beauty of being on a team, and comes up just huge with his first ever game winner last night.
Yeah, I mean, part of the difficulty for role players, and as great as Rui is as a player, the Lakers turned the ball over 22 times.
He didn't get opportunities
points given up against the Suns.
Yeah.
So those are 22 possessions. Nobody gets a shot. Mm-hmm. And Rui and role players pay for that the most. But to be a great role player and to have a career that starts to go 8, 9, 10, 12 plus years, to be on playoff teams, championship teams, the mentality that Rui took into the game last night, coming off of only one shot, he doesn't get on the plane and sulk and act like he's pissed off at his teammates. He just comes out the next night like a professional, has a great, solid basketball game, and then gets trusted with the biggest shot of the night by historically one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. And so, yeah, the tale of two nights, but Rui as a pro handled it very well.
Amazing.
No question. Your recovery is everything. I mean, it's like golf. You hit a bad shot, you know you're not going to get a par, but you're dying for a bogey, or to me, that's a win. And I think Rui, you know, he snapped back with the right mentality. But, you know, I remember when he first came here, I believe he and LeBron used to work out a lot together.
Yes.
I think they were trying to, you know, improve his game. And I think the trust that LeBron has and all his teammates just really makes them a stronger bond. But Rui, you know, that's the mentality you want to have. You go from a zero night to the next night being a hero. So you got to stay in there.
James, I love the golf analogy, but sometimes don't you just want to, like, look around, drop a ball, and hit it again? You know what I mean?
I can't.
It's a gentleman's game.
That's happening quite a bit out there anyway.
I can't even take a mulligan. It's just I don't feel good even taking a mulligan.
I know you can't.
It's all good. I take my double bogeys and keep on moving.
Fish, Austin Reaves played 41 minutes last night. Double-double, 41 points, 10 assists. He's played 40 minutes in 3 of the last 4 games, and he's in line for heavy usage and minutes again tonight. Any concern or just enjoying the ride?
No concern. I think the concern is appropriate in regards to as Austin continues to climb the ladder of becoming not just a role player, but a star/all-star level player. This comes with the territory. I mean, if he was on a team as an all-NBA all-star guy, this is what it would be like every night.
Every night.
Yes, having Luka and LeBron doesn't require you to play 40 minutes and score 40 points every night. But this is what it would be like if you were more 1A on a basketball team. And so no concern. I think Austin's in shape. He's able to handle the responsibilities. This won't run much past this week and weekend, I don't think, as Luka comes back and LeBron continues to get in shape. But Austin's just having a phenomenal season, man. Keep this thing rolling.
Yeah, management. I think he's got it down to a science how to manage, the minutes that he's playing versus the rest that he needs, and how to recover. And so he's young. How old is Austin now? I forget,
26, 27.
So he's like, this is the time where at that age, guys start to really peak and kind of understand what they need to do to recover. And so he's shown that he can do that and still be consistent. So I'm not overly concerned about that.
Yeah, 27 years old, by the way. All right, Jake LaRavia scored 14 points in last night's win over the Raptors.
Young.
The 9th time this year he scored in double figures. The Lakers have played 21 games this season. My man Jake is the only player to appear in all 21 of those games. Plus, Jayson Tatum pulled his Achilles in the playoffs last season. That hasn't slowed down the Celtics this year. We'll look at the numbers next. Let's check out the Lakers' upcoming schedule. On Sunday, the 3-city East Coast road trip wraps up in Philly. That's at 4:30. Lakers are back home to host the Spurs in the NBA Cup quarters on Wednesday. And from there, the schedule is up in the air based on what happens Wednesday night. If the Lakers advance to Las Vegas, that will be over the weekend. Saturday would be the semifinals. Jayson Tatum hasn't played a game this season. Celtics seem to be doing just fine without him so far. They're 3rd in the league in offensive rating, 4th in three-pointers made, 3rd in three-point attempts, 3rd in second chance points, 13-9, currently 5th in the Eastern Conference. So big game. Not many people expected the Celtics to be this good without Tatum. In the preseason, they were expected to win 40 games. Are you surprised, or is it just, that organization's got some damn good players?
Considering, they made some changes, Porzingis gone.
It's not the same team that won the title.
Not the same team, but they seem to have, like I said, kept the formula. The coach has done a good job of, keeping things above water. Their defense is not as what it used to be, and I don't think I know they're shooting the ball pretty good from
really
three,
well.
but not as good as they have in the past. So they've made some changes, and they're going through some some personnel, but they still are playing hard and winning games.
And this is where you talk about process and habits over results and outcomes. And the Celtics, without Jayson Tatum, are still laser focused on process and habits over results and outcome. And Joe Mazzulla, as a head coach, has been consistent in his approach to how his teams play. They're going to shoot threes. They're going to create 2-on-1 situations and force you to make decisions defensively. Like JJ mentioned earlier, their crash rate is the highest in the league. When shots go up, guards are crashing from the corners. Wings are slashing through the elbows to get offensive rebounds. Every team in the league is trying to win the possession battle and get more shots on goal than you. Those things haven't changed for the Celtics despite Jayson Tatum being out.
And by the way, the Celtics won by 45 last night in Washington. And to add insult to injury, they thrive on the back-to-backs. Check out this stat. Since 2022, the Boston Celtics are 33-11 in back-to-backs, but against teams that have played a night and are coming into a game on the second night of a back-to-back. They're 40-4. You guys are both on great back-to-back teams. What's the mindset, James? What's the reason for a team being that good in back-to-backs?
Well, look, if you're coming back home, that helps, some home cooking. But it's just the same focus. It's going to be interesting tonight because both the Celtics and the Lakers have been locked in on their mental approach to the game. So you just got to be mind over matter. You have to bring an extra gear, and obviously the most important things is every night don't turn the ball over, and don't allow the team to come in and take you out of your game. So you just have to be mentally focused and ready to go.
Which most years, right, when you collect this data, most teams that have these numbers are the teams that are playing in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals or NBA Finals. And so it helps when your team is damn good.
Yes.
And the Celtics.
And you're just better than everyone else.
Yes, the Celtics have been really good. They've had great personnel. They lost to the Warriors in the finals in 2022, but were able to come back and obviously win a title a couple years later. They've had great teams that are able to show up night in and night out and bring the requisite amount of focus and intensity and energy. And again, Joe Mazzulla's been a big part of that, even before Brad Stevens step to the side. Joe Mazzulla's been on the staff and helping lead these guys for a long time. So they're as consistent as it gets, regardless of who plays.
All right, guys. Last night, Austin Reaves scored 44 points and added 10 assists. The second time this season, he's had a 40-10 double-double. For the season, he's averaging 28.9. Let's call it 29 points per game. That's good enough for 6th highest in the league. Plus, who knows who likes the Celtics here in L.A.? Nobody. We'll look back at the top moments from the NBA's best rivalry.